The Wapakoneta Redskins are looking for their 12th win of the season and a chance to play in the third round of the playoffs. Standing in their way, the Fighting Owls. It's high school football playoff action for you, and it's next on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into Good Samaritan Stadium here in Edgemont High School, where tonight the second round of the playoffs commences, and the high school playoffs include the Wapakoneta Redskins, who are looking for their 12th win of the season against the Fighting Owls of Cincinnati's Mount Healthy. I'm Dan Hearn along with Paul Sadler. And Paul, this Mount Healthy team, they come in 8-3. They ran the board in their conference, going 6-0 in the Southwest Ohio Southwest Ohio Conference. They have a talented coach and a talented set of backs.
Yes, they do. And, Dan, this is a very different challenge presented to Walpock this week than Dayton Belmont did. Mount Healthy is a very experienced playoff team. They've competed in Division II the last couple years and have reached the regional finals the last 2 years, coming up short against eventual champion Cincinnati LaSalle last year. They lost a decent amount of talent, but still, as you mentioned, they were good enough to go undefeated in their conference and have won all 4 conference championships in the Southwest Ohio Conference history. As you mentioned, R.B. Crouch is in his 7th year, and they have made the playoffs 6 out of his 7 years as his tenure as coach.
They are coming off a 46-27 win over North Ridgemont, and their quarterback keyed that victory, David Montgomery, 5 rushing touchdowns in that ball game, Paul.
Yeah, David Montgomery is a tremendous dual threat talent for the Fighting Owls. He's a senior and has rushed for over 2,500 yards on the season, including 41 touchdowns. He throws the ball a little bit, not nearly as proficient, only 670 yards for the year, but he's had tremendously big games. He's had 3 games over 300 yards on the ground.
He's an impressive talent and something that the Redskins will have to be aware of all night long. As we mentioned, the Redskins 11-0. They also ran the table in their conference, going 9-0 under the direction of Travis Moyer in his 2nd season. And this is another historic season for the Redskins, Paul.
Sure is. Prior to the last couple of years, Walpock's never even made the playoffs in back-to-back years. This marks their 3rd straight years in the playoffs. Last year was the first year they won multiple games in the playoffs. So the very historic team. First time they won back-to-back WBL championships this year for Walpock. Coach Moyer's really got things going.
They've had a little bit of difficulty stopping the run over the past couple of games, Paul, and that's going to be key tonight.
Yeah, both in Van Wert and Dayton Belmont last week, they've shown a little bit of susceptibility to the rush, so they look to improve on that.
We'll come back with the opening kickoff right after this. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
And welcome back to Northmont High School here in the second round of high school playoffs. And the Redskins coming in 11-0 and trying to add to that win total here tonight. They're coming off a 44-22 win over Dayton Belmont. And Paul, that was a game that they struggled defensively early on.
Yeah, Dayton Belmont went right down the field the first two possessions and looked like it was going to be a tight, high-scoring game. Then the Wapak defense kind of figured things out. It was a very unique offense Dayton Belmont was running. However, that's been 2 weeks in a row where they've given up 20-plus points when you figure in Week 10 game versus Van Wert, which came down to the wire as well. So that's a little bit of a concern against the vaunted rushing attack of Cincinnati Mount Healthy.
Mm-hmm. One thing, if you looked at the numbers offensively for the Redskins, they weren't tremendous in last week's game, but part of that could be because they didn't run an offensive play on their own side of the field in the second half.
If you look at a very unique situation where Wapak led the WBL in points per game, but was only 7th in total yardage, and that was kind of really shown last week as well, where the defense gave them a really short field and you don't rack up a lot of yardage that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, they put up 23 points in the third quarter to kind of pull away from Dayton Belmont. They will have the ball first because Mount Healthy won the toss and elected to defer.
And it looks like Mount Healthy doesn't have a really strong kicking game as Wapak's not backed very deep, and we do know that extra points has been a little bit of an issue for them too, that we may see later.
Well, Cameron Locke, a big part of the offense all season long for the Redskins, is lined up at the 20-yard line to receive the kick. And David Montgomery, the starting quarterback for the Fighting Owls, will have it teed up at the 40 to put the foot into it. Cameron Locke, 3 TDs last week against Belmont on runs of 7, 5, and 3 yards. And they line drive this kick, but Locke will scoop it at the 20. He's across the 25 and to the near side, still on his feet across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And so that's where the Redskin offense will take over for their first possession of the game.
And I tell you what, Healthy was able to get what you want Cameron Locke to have to do, where he had to stop in his tracks because of the traffic that was in front of him. And now all of a sudden that incredible burst that he has was neutralized.
Aaron Huffman, the starting quarterback for the Redskins, 5 for 5 last week for just 55 yards passing. So they didn't go through the air a lot last week, but he had a good game throwing the ball. He's under center here, and they put Childs in motion across the backfield. It will be Locke, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and picks up a yard, maybe 2, on a first down carry.
And it's going to be really interesting to see kind of the battle in the trenches for this game. Wapak with a very experienced front line, including some youngsters who are working in there. John Bourne, who's filled in for the injured Corey Thrush, and also seeing Tyler Jenkins put in there. But they have a very stout line they're going against, including a really, really big guy, number 50, Keontae Deal, who weighs 320 pounds.
They're going to call it second down and 9. And Locke will get the handoff again. This time finds some space across the 40. He's on his feet at the 45. And he gets to midfield, and that's where he stacked up and stopped after picking up the first down.
And Cameron Locke is really good once he gets through that first amount of pressure, whether it's cutting to the outside and when he's got the edge, or in this case, just recognizing where that cutback is.
16 yards on the carry for Cameron Locke.
You see a really nice seal right there. Hogan really pinned his man inside, and that allowed that path there for Locke to be able to pick up the first down.
Well, a good start for the Redskins as they pick up a first down on their first series. And flags come down here as the Redskins start that play.
Yeah, there was a Mount Healthy player lined up in the neutral zone, and that is a dead ball foul in high school football. So that's going to be easy 5 yards. That will march them to the 45-yard line, giving them a 1st and 5. Mount Healthy kind of plays more of a traditional 4-3 defense. Trayvon Wilburn is their middle linebacker. We'll see him the most. They also have some other talented players, including trotting on right now, number 94, 6'7", 220-pound, good-looking senior Elijah Pinkleton.
3 receivers set for the Redskins, and they hand it off to Cameron Locke, who is met at the line of scrimmage and stopped there. No gain on that first down carry.
Yeah, that was Wilburn, and then Keith Shepard also combining in on that tackle. Again, Mount Healthy, a pretty experienced team defensively. They start 6 seniors. They have some experience returning from a regional finals team from last year, and now they moved down from Division II to Division III. They play a very competitive schedule. Their league is mostly Division II and III schools. Their losses were all pretty tight losses. They lost 8 points to an undefeated Middletown Fenwick team, lost by 1 to Glen Est, who is a Division II playoff team, and then lost by 2 to Massillon, Washington.
Here's Miracle on the end around. He finds some space inside the 30, and he's going to be run down as he gets to the 25-yard line. Another first down for the Redskins and a big gainer for Miracle.
And luckily, free safety Jordan Daly was there for the Owls. Otherwise, Walpock would have been able to get on the board first. But a big gain there by Miracle. Miracle only his 15th carry of the year, but when he gets a chance, usually it's kind of a big play because he runs that little counter play for him.
So it's first down at the 25-yard line as the Redskins moving down the field against this Fighting Owls defense so far in this ball game. Here is Cameron Locke to the outside, cuts it back to the middle, and he'll gain a couple inside the 25.
And you see that right before the ball was snapped. You saw Case Childs and I believe that was Miracle also kind of traded sides. And what the coaches are trying to see is what the defense will do to react when the strength of the defense of the offense changes. And the Owls didn't really change a whole lot. Look to see Coach Moyer try to draw up some X and O's to be able to try to take advantage of them if they're not going to adjust to that switch in strength.
Mm-hmm. They go with a 4 receiver set now. Locke lines up in the slot on the far side of the field inside of Ethan Good. And they set up a screen to Good. Good has it at the 25, and he'll fight his way down to about the 21-yard line. So not a big gain on second down, but it sets up a third down and manageable.
No, and Ethan Good's kind of fortunate to make some plays to be able to gain some yardage, because there were some Owls waiting on him as soon as he caught the ball, but he was able to evade them. Brings up an interesting situation with 3rd and 6 on the 21-yard line. You can be pretty aggressive here thinking that this is 4-down territory, but also understand they do have a kicker who has quite a leg.
Mm-hmm. 7th play of the drive coming up for the Redskins. Huffman is in the shotgun with Locke back there with him, and they'll hand it off to Locke, and he is buried for a loss back at the 25-yard line. Good penetration by the Owls on defense. Able to track down Locke in the backfield.
Yeah, Collier, only 5'9", but very, very quick coming off the edge. And that changes things greatly, moving the ball back to the 24-yard line. But it does indeed look like they're going to try to attempt a field goal from the right hash of 41 yards here, Dan.
Tristan Meyer.
His long on the year is 37.
He's 3 out of 5 on field goals so far this year. Hold is down for Huffman. The kick is up, and it is good. So Tristan Meyer nails it, and the Redskins get on the board first. 7:09 remaining here in the first quarter in the second round of the playoffs here in Northmont. And the Redskins on top by a score of 3-0. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Hello?
Call dropped?
Hello?
No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you.
With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
Well, Tristan Meyer has it teed up to kick it away after he knocked in a 41-yard field goal to give the Redskins the early lead. 8 plays, 44 yards in 4 minutes and 51 seconds. And the Redskins trying to establish what they're doing offensively, Paul, and it seemed like they didn't have a whole lot of negative plays on that first possession.
Well, actually, it's kind of the negative play that derailed it there at the end. And, my takeaway from that first drive is what an advantage in high school football. Most high schools would not be able to come up with points on that particular possession, but Tristan Meyer, truly gifted in terms of accuracy and leg strength to be able to get the Redskins on the board. But yeah, Coach Moyer has to be concerned. When you have a 3rd and 6, you don't want to lose yardage. And they're fortunate that to come away with points after that loss.
Etheridge with the return out to the 35-yard line, and we'll see the Fighting Owls offense for the first time tonight.
Again, all eyes are on number 7, the quarterback, David Montgomery. Going to hurt you a lot more with his legs than with his arm, but if you aren't paying attention, he can sneak the ball out there and throw the long ball as well.
Man in motion across the backfield. That's Williams. Now they move him back up to the line of scrimmage, and you see they're looking over to the far sideline for the signals from the side. Nice stiff arm there by Montgomery to avoid the tackle at the line of scrimmage, but he'll only get a couple out to the 37-yard line.
Nice tackle by Nate Alsass, and this is going to really put pressure on the defense of Wapak. They're going to be forced to make plays, a lot of times making solo tackles in space against a really good athlete. Kind of an adjustment we can see defensive-wise. Coach Moore only employing 3 down linemen against this, I guess you'd call it a spread offense, but again, this is more of a quarterback-based running team.
We talked about the tremendous game that Montgomery had last week. Here's a handoff up the middle and out to the 45-yard line, and I believe that was Young on the carry.
Yeah, and Young is the second leading rusher on this team, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. Usually gets single-digit carries, 7 to 9 carries a game. He's only been over 100 once, but when he did, he put up 222 yards against Little Miami. Last week, he had 56 yards on 7 carries.
Well, that was good enough for a first down out to the 46-yard line. So the Owls will look to the sideline for the play. 6 minutes to play here, first quarter, with the Redskins on top 3-0. Williams in motion across the backfield, and it'll be Montgomery to the left side looking for the corner. He'll find it to midfield, and Aaron Huffman will knock out his counterpart over on the far sideline after he picks up a first down at the 41-yard line.
And these receivers for Mount Healthy are really called upon to be more blockers, and that would include running back Lee Young. A lot of times he works as a lead blocker for Montgomery. Still trying to kind of see the defensive philosophy here for the Redskins after that 13-yard run. And it looks like maybe they might have Cameron Locke working kind of as a spy from the free safety position, which, normally he's more of a cornerback. But they're going with 3 down linemen. They got their 3 very talented linebackers with Cockrell, Keel, and Hall.
There is Young up the middle. He'll get inside the 40. And it looks like they're going to mark him down at the 38-yard line. So a gain of 3 on first down.
And that will definitely still be the strength of the defense for Wapak, is there between the tackles. But, they'll attack you from all different angles with the Owls.
And Montgomery has the speed to go to the corner, but we've seen, Paul, in the highlights that we looked at, he'll take any avenue up through the middle of the field.
Well, when you end up with over 2,500 yards rushing, you tend to get him all sorts of different ways.
He had his longest run of the season last week, a 92-yard touchdown run.
Well, actually, that was a Week 10 against Northwest where he was able to do that, kind of put the game away there at the end of the fourth quarter. And they're going to call that a first down.
Move that up to the 30-yard line. So the Owls moving down the field effectively so far on their first possession.
Yeah, real similar start to their drive as it was for Wapak, where they looked pretty easily getting down to about this area, but that's when Wapak kind of came up short on first and second down, and then had that loss on third down.
And this will be a handoff with the man in motion going to the far side of the field inside the 35, and he'll go down near the 33-yard line. On the carry there was Justice Waller.
And Justice Waller being one of the what you would call a wing back, and a wing T, they'd be kind of considered a halfback, if you will. He will rush the ball quite a bit from that area. That's his 26th carry of the year. So he's someone else to look on. But him and number 10, Darrell Williams, are kind of the two wing backs, where Williams is more the receiver and Waller is more the runner.
2nd down and 4 coming up now for the Owls. Man in motion across the backfield. It'll be Montgomery to keep it to the right side. He's going to be hit the line of scrimmage, and he'll go down. You see a flag down there on the field at about the 25-yard line.
It's going to be an illegal shift by the Owls. We'll see if they take this penalty or not, because there was a little bit of a loss on the play anyway. Cameron Locke, coming from the free safety position, able to get into the legs of Montgomery to take him down.
Illegal shift on the offense. Tackle wasn't set before the man went in motion. Replay, 2nd down.
Yep. Well, they will march that one back to the 29-yard line and replay 2nd down.
Well, so far, the Owls have shown how quick they are to the line, and their offensive line has so far seemed to have won the battle early on against the defensive front of the Redskins.
One receiver to each side for Montgomery. He has Young in the backfield with him. They fake the handoff to Young, and it is Montgomery to the far side of the field. He's going to go out of bounds near the stick, and it'll be close to a 1st down. We'll see how they spot it.
Yeah, what a burst does he have. They're going to mark him just a little bit short. This will bring up a 3rd and less than 1.
And with the kicking issues that this team has had, this is clearly 4 down territory, no matter what the 3rd down situation is.
Yeah, no doubt. But with the exception of the one play that was actually nullified because of the accepted penalty, the Redskins haven't held the Owls in check on any play yet.
Well, the Redskins brought a good crowd down here. And that ball is loose. Montgomery trying to recover it, and he's going to go down. He was actually down at the 29-yard line.
And what a break right there. You go from a 3rd and inches to now it's going to be about a 4th and 8. Not a great snap, and was not handled very well by David Montgomery. And that changes things dramatically to now this brings up the first 4th down of the game.
Well, Paul, you mentioned that this team has only lost 3 games, and they were all tight games. And you can trace those back to the little mistakes that they made, turnovers and kicking issues in all of those games were the key factors. And it looks like Mount Healthy is going to take the timeout before this 4th down play. We'll take a break as well. 2:42 remaining here in the 1st quarter with the Redskins clinging to a 3-0 lead. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Visit the website at www.hs.org.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Well, coming out of the timeout, the Fighting Owls facing a 4th down and 9 at the Wapakoneta 29-yard line.
We'll see what happens here if they dial up the first pass of the game here for the Owls, or if they're going to leave it in the legs of their quarterback.
Montgomery does have an arm. He can throw the ball. He fires it deep down the right sideline, but well covered is his intended receiver, and the ball will go over to the Redskins on down. So what a huge defensive stand there.
Yeah, Maddox Lyles all over Tyree Robertson, giving up a little bit of size there with being 6'3", but we kind of mentioned when we were kind of doing some our midweek film on David Montgomery, he's only completing 43% of his passes, although he's been touchdown to interception ratio pretty good, only 6 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. But when we were seeing his highlights, and he has an impressive highlight reel out there, Mr. Incredible, that's out there. When he was completing his passes is when his guys were wide open.
Right.
And they were not wide open on that play.
Landon Hall joins Cameron Locke in the backfield, and he'll get his first carry of the night. He'll get out to the 31.5-yard line.
A lot of strength there shown by Lonnie Phelps. I believe it looks like he's only a freshman. Was from behind, kept Landon Hall, and then kind of pulled him backwards. And usually Landon Hall is going to be dragging people with him.
So they spot it just outside the 31. Closing in on 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Same formation here on 2nd down. This time it'll be Locke coming to the near side. He's across the 35. He has the outside corner to the 40, and he's going to be knocked off his feet and out of bounds at the 45-yard line after picking up a first down.
Well, Landon Hall might only had a short pickup on the play before, but this time he absolutely clocked his man. A decleating tackle, lead blocking for Cameron Locke that time. Hopefully we can get a replay of that 14-yard gain, because Landon Hall put his man on the ground.
Well, it'll be a first down for the Redskins at their own 45. Huffman with a handoff to Miracle, and he will bring it to the near side and gets about a yard on the play.
A little bit slower developing than they'd really like that. Just didn't come off as cleanly. Jordan Daly able to have enough time to be able to do it. Here's the replay of the play before. Watch number 1. Nope, that's the wrong play. That's the play before.
The replay of Landon Hall's carry on the first play of this drive.
Yeah. It's the play after that would have been the one where Locke had the long run where he got it. So
we'll see if we can dial that up for you.
Yeah, we feel good about the guys in the truck. Adam and Cody will get it.
2 receivers to the right. Locke in the backfield with Huffman and Miracle wide to the near side. It'll be Locke on the carry. And he's met at the line of scrimmage, but fights his way up to the 49-yard line. So a 3rd down and about 6 coming up.
Yeah, and this is what we saw when they got their last drive derailed, was on 3rd down where they lost yards. 3rd and 6 isn't where they want to be. And what's kind of happening is that they're losing the battle on 1st down. Instead of getting the 4 or 5 yard gain that they'd want to get ahead of schedule, they're only getting about a yard. So that's making things a little bit tougher for the Redskin offense.
Now, Paul, it seems like the Redskins are trying to spread the offense out a little bit more this week than they have in previous ball games.
Yeah, it's early on, and they like to see what they can kind of get away. This time they're going to put it up in the air.
Huffman back to pass, fires it left side and off the hands of his intended receiver, Childs, at about midfield. So that's going to force the Redskins into a punt situation.
Yeah, and that's too bad. Aaron Huffman, who's been incredibly accurate this second half of the season, a little bit high to his tight end. And if he really wanted to be aggressive, Cameron Locke had his man beat by a couple steps if he wanted to throw the ball up. It says 4th down here, and they're at midfield, and Coach Moyer might be going for the stand.
Well, it looks like Huffman's coming back out onto the field, so
an aggressive play call right here.
4th and 6. Huffman is under center. And now they'll change formation now and back Locke into the punt formation.
Delay game.
And the Redskins not able to get that play off in time.
So a little bit of a little workup, and I guess here we're going to see the replay. Look at number 1 right here, leading the way and absolutely putting to the ground Keith Shepard.
Yeah, he didn't see that coming.
No. But to get back to the play that we just saw, actually there's timeout. We'll just keep it here. We'll just keep it here. So anyway, what they tried to do was, because there was a fourth and 5, 4th and 6, they were trying to see if they can get a quick 5 yards right under center, tried a hard count to see if they could draw them off sides, and then they shifted into a punt, again trying to hope that they would jump off sides. But if they didn't, hopefully they didn't get a guy back, and then they're going to try to punt it deep and get the roll there. But just kind of ran out of time. Now with 9 seconds left, 10 seconds left, here in the quarter, going to do the conventional punting to punt the ball away to the Owls.
Now, they didn't move the ball back, Paul, so they must have gotten the timeout before the delay of game, because they didn't move the ball from the spot.
Yep, I believe you're right. Yep, and the Redskins now have charge of timeout, so you're right, Dan.
Montgomery back there to receive it. He is standing at the 9-yard line as Locke will put the foot into it. That one will hit inside the 20-yard line. Excuse me, that's not Montgomery. That's Cook back there, and he is going to let it roll, and the Redskins will down it inside the 5-yard line. So a good punt for Cameron Locke, and a long field to go for the Fighting Owls when we come back for the start of the second quarter. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Come out to Astro Lanes in the Loft Bar and Grill, where you can find great food, good drinks, fun games, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time.
Well, back here at Northmont High School for the start of the second quarter, the home of the Thunderbolts, and a beautiful facility here just north of Dayton.
Yeah, it's a tremendous facility. We're very impressed here. Tremendous press box.
Montgomery will take it up the middle of the field. He's met by Landon Hall as he gets across the 5-yard line. Excuse me, that was Cockrell with the stop there.
And they'd like to continue to try to keep them with short gains on first down. Still, that's probably just a little bit too much. It puts them at the 8-yard line, and to kind of clarify so that both to make sure, Dan, he indeed, Montgomery had a 92-yard rush last week. So want to make sure we get that out there, but he also did have one in week 10. So back-to-back weeks he's had 92-yard runs.
It's not often that we're both right.
Right. But unfortunately right now he's on the 8-yard line again. So this is the hot zone for him the last 2 weeks.
And he will keep it himself, going to the right side, and he'll get across the 10, and he is upended, and where he landed awkwardly, Paul, as he got to the 11-yard line.
You don't usually see kind of hip tosses like that on Nate Alsace, except if you're watching big-time wrestling. The back of the day of the British Bulldogs used to do stuff like that, I think, back in the 80s.
That's going back there.
That is. That was when it was real.
3rd down and 2. The Redskins had a big stop on the first possession by the Fighting Owls. They would love to make another stop here. Man in motion across the backfield for Mount Healthy, and it'll be Montgomery, and he shakes his way across the 15, and he's going to be stopped as he gets to the 17-yard line after picking up a first down.
And did that ball get loose?
It looked like the kind of pile you'd see after a fumble, but
well, apparently not. They're going to give him the first down. One thing I want to say in the short time that we've seen Montgomery, he's just not a speed runner. he got some contact there and then found a way to squeeze through that contact. So Montgomery, 5'11", 205, not a slender quarterback by any means.
Well, and we saw reports, Paul, 24/7 Sports reported that he's being recruited by Miami of Ohio and the University of Cincinnati. So this kid's going to play at the next level. Oh, what a big stop there on that carry. And met at the line of scrimmage is Young. His trip ended quickly.
And Jared Cockrell with the first real negative play that was caused by the Wapak defense there on first down to kind of put them behind the sticks for the first time in this game.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 11.
So a very quick moving game. As you have two very ground-based teams. That first quarter was pretty quick.
And now they'll give to the back coming across the backfield in motion. He gets across the 20 to the 25, down the far sideline, and he'll pick up positive yards out to the 35. And again, another nice run by Waller.
There seems to be a flag down, however, at the 15-yard line. We'll see what the call is. But Justice Waller with his second big run of the evening. They're going to call personal foul face mask on the Redskins.
And that's going to move the ball out near midfield for the Owls.
So the Redskins, usually one of the least penalized teams in the Western Buckeye League. We'll see if we can see it in here or not. I think they called it there. Someone was hung up with Javon Martin. I didn't see the Redskin player, but I did see Javon Martin's helmet was off.
18 yards on the pickup for Waller, and it puts that, with the penalty, puts them into the Redskin territory at the 47-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, number 26 of the defense. Ripped the man's helmet off. That's why he doesn't have to leave the game.
Well, a very clear explanation by the officiating crew.
Yeah, if they're going to call that on Jake Cockrell, defensive end, junior for the Redskins.
It sets up the Owls at the Redskin 47, 1st down and 10. Montgomery again out of the shotgun. Young back there with him, and he will be the lead blocker for Montgomery, who cuts to the outside, stays on his feet, and falls forward across the 35 down to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, really hard runner right there. And again, great blocking by his skill positions in front of him, as well as the polling left guard, Amir Wallace, able to get out in front of him. So there's a lot of moving parts and bodies getting out there, but just once again, the tremendous speed of Montgomery. And you got to remember how far back they started this drive inside their own 10-yard line.
Makes some sharp cuts, Paul.
He certainly does. His team always kind of looking to the bench. So the coach is holding up colored squares for them to look at to help coordinate what play they want to call.
And the Owls taking a timeout here before this 1st down play. 8:34 remaining in the half. The Redskins still up by a score of 3-0. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
SAA on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat.
Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today.
Regional semifinals for you tonight from Northmont High School. And the Redskins with the lead on the Tristan Meyer 41-yard field goal. But the Fighting Owls threatening to get into the end zone. Here's Waller to the far side, and he's going to be knocked off his feet at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like the edge was there, but Corey Crawford able to move his big body in the way and then close that. But still, about a 3-yard gain. The Redskins really need to continue to put back-to-back plays where they're holding them to 2 yards or less to really kind of put them away from where they want to get.
Eighth play of this drive as both of these teams have been able to put together sustained drives on the first couple of possessions. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Montgomery, after a couple of fakes, will keep it himself. Boy, he nearly dodged that tackle, but staying with it and bringing him down at the 28-yard line of the Redskins.
Yeah, Maddox Lyles, who we've seen all year, just been a tremendous form tackler, able to be able to bring him down. But it's kind of interesting and unique play that they run. We've seen them hand it off to that wingback going the other way, but then obviously the quarterback can keep it as well. Mm-hmm. And both options got burners with the ball in their hands.
Right. A 3rd down and 5 coming up now for the Owls. And we've talked about it on their last possession. When they get this close, they're obviously in 4-down territory because the last thing they want to do is try and kick the ball. Montgomery fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, goes to the right side, and he is going to stay on his feet down to the 10 and finally wrestled out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
I tell you what, that was a big-time run in terms of speed. Mm-hmm. You're talking about this guy getting some college looks. Based on just that run alone, that was not a high school player's speed. I mean, he gets the top speed in a hurry, makes a cut on a dime to get to the outside, and gets 22 yards on that big 3rd down.
Well, he was stopped inbounds, so the clock will roll as they set up at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. Montgomery again in a shotgun. He will hand it off this time, and that ball is going to be stopped in the backfield as Young tried to bring it to the near side, and Landon Hall shut him down.
And so far, that's the 3rd carry for Lee Young, and 2 of them have gone for negative plays.
They're going to lose 3 yards on that one. It would be tempting, Paul, as the offensive coordinator, to just let Montgomery take it every single time, but obviously you have to mix it up a little bit.
He still gets it a high percentage of the time, so he doesn't usually go more than two plays or so without carrying the ball.
This is a team that most of the time they're running the ball 40 times, 45 times a game, and this time the Redskins able to get Montgomery at the line of scrimmage.
You know what, this is the first time that I can remember Montgomery carrying the ball where there was traffic in front of him. The Redskins won the battle of the line of scrimmage and moved the offensive line back into his lap, and that forced him from what he wants to be able to do, which is get the top speed in a hurry. Mm-hmm. So that's the back-to-back defensive plays that I think that the Redskins needed, and this is going to cause a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and goal from the 10 for the Owls.
Yeah, and this started out 1st down and goal at the 6-yard line, so the Redskins have done well on the first 2 plays of this series as the officials are talking things over.
Please reset the game clock to 5:30.
So some issues with the clock. So it currently says 5:09 on our on the scoreboard, and they want it to go up all the way up to 5:30.
Mm-hmm. So now they'll roll the clock at 5:30. And the Owls looking to the sideline for the play. They may get down to 5:09 before they hike it anyway. Montgomery will roll out to the right, lobs it toward the end zone, and that one is incomplete. A little bit high for his intended receiver. And I think he was trying to connect with Borden there.
And I tell you what, I think that's exactly what the Redskins want David Montgomery doing. They want him to try to throw because, quite frankly, I think the defensive backfield of the Redskins can cover those guys, sufficiently enough to where he's going to have to throw a very, very accurate throw. What they don't want him doing is carrying the ball. It'll be interesting to see on this 4th and 10 if they do trust his arm again.
Well, they come out with 4 receivers. Now they move Waller in tight on the left side. Young is in the backfield. Montgomery staring to the sideline for a 4th down and 10 play.
And the Wapak crowd is on their feet.
4th and goal from the 10-yard line as Montgomery takes a snap, rolls over to the right side, looks down the middle of the field, throws it into the end zone, and it's tipped away and nearly taken away by Cameron Locke. And for the second drive in a row for the Owls, they have been shut down in the red zone on a turnover on downs.
And what it really came down to was 1st and 2nd down for the Redskins. They forced the Owls to go backwards for the first time. Then it took them out of what they wanted to do. They threw the ball twice. Montgomery is now 0 for 3 passing, and that ball was almost intercepted by Cameron Locke, who last year was a WBL first team cornerback. Sometimes that gets lost with how successful he's been offensively. He's been a standout on defense for a lot longer time.
And Paul, you talk about the glaring weakness of this Mount Healthy team, and it's got to be the kicking game. And they've been in 2 situations already tonight where they could have used a kicker and tied this thing up and taken the lead. Carry off the left side out to the 15-yard line. And that was Cockrell on the carry, so a nice 1st down gain for the Redskins.
And again, you remember earlier, the Redskins were being held to a yard or 2 on 1st down, but if you can get 6 yards, 5-6 yards on 1st down against this defense, you're going to be in good shape. This defense of Mount Healthy still gives up 21 points a game. You average as a team 35 points a game. You got to feel confident that do what we can do, and we can be able to get some points on the board.
Cockrell fights his way up to a 1st down to the 22-yard line. 2 nice runs by Jared Cockrell to start this drive.
So the fullback getting some work in the offense for Travis Moyer's offense, moves the chains for the Redskins. And what we could kind of surprised, we thought this was too kind of explosive offense. We were expecting a lot of points. Did not expect a 3-0 game with 4 minutes left to go in the quarter.
Aaron Huffman faked the handoff to Locke and kept it himself. And the Owls snipped it out and knocked him down for a loss back to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, tried to do a little bit of trend breaker play call right there with making the Owls think, hey, Cameron Locke hasn't touched the ball a while. But let's fake it to him and try something else. But the Owls were not fooled in a negative play on 1st down.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 after the loss of the play. The Redskins, I think, Paul, at least from what we've seen so far, more equipped to throw the ball. As Locke breaks a tackle in the backfield, stays on his feet, still on his feet, fights his way across the 30 to the 31-yard line, and he's close to a 1st down. Cameron Locke showing that he can break through a tackle or 2.
Yeah, Collier right away was able to get him in the backfield. I thought he was going to go down, but Locke showing that at 170 he can stay on his feet as well. And Jordan Daly, again, for the 2nd time this game with a touchdown saving tackle.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down. And a yard to go. 12 yards on the carry by Cameron Locke.
I remember that 2-yard loss on 1st down prevented that from being a 1st down carry.
Ethan Good, the lone wideout, over to the far side. They have Cockrell and Locke in the backfield behind Huffman. And it will be Cockrell off the left side, picking up the 1st down to the 35-yard line. The Owls had pretty good penetration there.
And the Wapak crowd a little bit upset about one of their players getting moved down there, but I think Mr. Elijah Pinkleton, he's just kind of trying to move his guy out of the way a little bit, and I think no harm on that particular play at the end. But most importantly, fresh set of downs there for the Redskins. You can
Pinkleton, see he's a big fella.
You can see he's kind of him and he's just trying to kind of move his guy back there, and yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Huffman back to pass, throwing it deep down the near side, looking for Locke, and it's going to be picked off inside the 25-yard line at the 23. An athletic interception pulled down there for the Owls by Javonte Williams.
Yeah, that's his first pick of the year. Huffman actually had a few guys going deep, but all of them were well covered. And Huffman decides to throw it up there just in case to see if a playmaker can make a play. That's his 4th interception of the year. And truthfully, works just as good of any punt.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it was on first down, though.
Right. Yeah. Well, 2 minutes and 29 seconds remaining here in the half. And so far, this Redskins defense has bent, but they haven't broken. They've allowed the Owls to get into the red zone twice on their 2 possessions.
Yeah, that concerned me. That concerned me more than anything at that point with the turnover at this juncture, as it puts your defense back out there against a team that, while they haven't broken the big one yet, they're definitely capable.
And Montgomery lobs that one out to the right side, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. He was trying to connect with Williams, Darrell Williams.
And Montgomery looking for his first pass completion. That one definitely not his fault, as he now goes 0 for 4 in the game.
Second down and 10 now. The Owls looking to the sidelines, now set. Montgomery fakes the handoff, now hands it off to Waller. Waller looking for the corner to the far side, gets hit by Crawford and trips him up as he gets across the 25. He'll dive forward to the 27-yard line.
And you wouldn't think so, but Crawford might be the key to stopping that outside run. That's the second time we've seen him kind of get out there. He's really got to stretch the defense, but not early enough to where they can cut back inside him. But he's athletic enough at 270 to be able to get off that and be able to make that play.
Well, the Owls are 1 for 3 on 3rd down, and they are facing a 3rd down and 6 now. Waller has some good speed too, Paul. He can get to that edge pretty quickly.
He does, and if I was not healthy, I would not put the ball in the air here. I'd let number 7 run it.
And that's what they do. Montgomery will bring it to the near side. He's hit by Landon Hall as he gets to the 28-yard line. He'll get to the 29, and that'll be it. It'll bring up a 4th down.
And Coach Moyer looking to be aggressive, calls the timeout so he can get some time left for his offense.
Well, you see the quarterback, David Montgomery, and he's going to back up. He does their kicking duties as well as far as punting the ball. And for the Redskins now, Paul, they aired it out. They stretched the defense out a little bit. It ended up turning the ball over, but their defense has shut down Mount Healthy again and giving them an opportunity to get the ball back one more time before the end of the half.
Well, provided we don't see something strange here like a fake punt, which we have seen Mount Healthy do, especially with Montgomery being the punter.
Right.
This would be the first 3 and out of the game, and it looks like Wapak might have figured some things out, which we've seen them do sometimes, take a couple possessions to kind of figure out how to do some things. I think the big difference is getting some penetration on those outside lanes, setting that edge and making it so that he can't be full bore running full speed to the outside. But if I was Wapak, I would still be a little bit concerned. You got to make sure that he punts this.
Yeah, absolutely. So far tonight, Mount Healthy 0 for 2 on 4th down, and both of those 4th downs were in the red zone, and key stops for the Redskins defensively.
Well, you remember, they are kicking away to Cameron Locke, who has 2 touchdowns on punt returns, averaging over 20 a return.
Cameron Locke, I believe, motioned for a timeout there as he was talking to the official that was standing back there waiting for that kick. And I don't know whether maybe the Redskins had too many guys on the field or... Yeah, I believe they have 13.
Yeah, 12 guys out there.
12 guys out there, so that's... Yep.
If they got timeout, that's a heady play because that saves them a possession.
Yep. The final timeout of the half for the Redskins. We'll take it with them. 1:26 left in the half. Redskins up 3-0. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
For over 100 years, the Stolly Insurance Team has been looking out for you.
We have access to major insurance companies all over the country. But together, we can customize an insurance program that will offer you the best coverage for the best premiums.
Let us look out for you. Give us a call for a personalized proposal today.
Proudly featuring Motorist Insurance, Stolly Insurance in Lima, Wapak, Salina, and Lakeview. Representing Motorist Insurance Group and other fine insurance companies. Stolly Insurance.
Well, you see Cameron Locke going to the official to take that timeout because the Redskins had too many men on the field.
And he got it right before that flag was being tossed.
Mm-hmm. So 1:28 left in the half, and Montgomery does indeed kick it away.
And he's got a good leg. He averages over 38 yards a kick. So Cameron Locke forced to call a fair catch. So Coach Moore with 1:21 left and they're now out of timeouts. Might change how you want to look at this. You do have the lead. Mm-hmm. You know, you might want to just try to see if running your regular offense, and if you can bust one, maybe be a little bit more aggressive. Mm-hmm. But if Cameron Locke was able to have gotten a pretty good return, which he's capable of, you know, you obviously want to get a chance to be able to get the ball in his hands.
That was a high kick, but the Owls coverage team was down there quickly. 36 yards on the kick by Montgomery. Redskins spreading things out here. 4 receivers. And Huffman is back to pass. Looking downfield, he'll fire toward the left side, and that's going to be well overthrown, intended for good on the far sideline, but way high.
Yeah, Huffman, who has been completing over 70% of his passes in the second half of the season, now 1 for 4 passing. The only completion was on that slip screen to Ethan Good.
Well, on the upside, it didn't take a lot of time off the clock. They still have 1:17 remaining. And really, Paul, if you don't think you're going to get into the end zone or get close enough for Tristan Meyer to make a field goal, you want to make sure you take the time off the clocks and not give Montgomery another chance with the ball.
I agree. You got the lead.
Huffman is back to pass again, fires it to the near side, and he overthrows Ethan Good again. That would have been close to a first down at the 45-yard line, but off the hands of Good.
Yeah, well, high once again. Now there's 1:12 left. It's 3rd and 10, and the Owls do have a timeout. So even if you do run the ball here, they're going to call a timeout, and they're going to get ball back with some time left. So Coach Meyer showing some faith in his quarterback, though.
Well, and he has to like the play of his defense so far in this ball game as well. They will come out with 3 receivers here. Cameron Locke in the slot on the far side of the field. And it'll be the handoff to Landon Hall in the backfield, and the Owls make the stop at the line of scrimmage, and there's the timeout that you talked about, Paul.
Yeah, that sequence really couldn't have gone any worse for the Redskins, where they used almost no time at all by running those 3 plays. You know, with the 2 incompletions and then the run for no gain, it's going to bring up that 4th down and 10. Now the Owls, they are out of timeouts. That's their last one. But again, you're just giving them another chance. You know, it's a 1-possession game. You're up 3-0. So just looks like it's going to be another opportunity here for the Owls.
Well, Cameron Locke will be out there to kick it away. And Locke has done a pretty good job kicking the ball so far this season.
Well, the Redskins have just really excelled in special teams just as a whole. You know, all their kicking teams and coverage teams have done a really good job, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, they are undefeated. You know, statistically, you know, offensively, yards-wise, is nothing eye-popping. Defensively, you know, they're a very solid team, but, you know, their special teams might not get enough credit with their success.
Well, he averages 38.1 yards a kick. Does Locke. That was 2nd in the Western Buckeye League. Short kick. This one will hit at the 40-yard line. And not much of a bounce either, as the Redskins will have to touch that one down at the 40-yard line.
Now, so far, not a great sequence for the Redskins so far towards the end of this second quarter.
Boy, and up to that series of downs right there, most things have been going their way.
Well, you know, they kind of went out of character a little bit offensively on that last drive, which, you know, sometimes things don't work out for you. But, you know, we've seen Huffman be very, very successful passing the ball so far. You know, in the last half of the season. So, but the defense has to get right back at it because they're going to be challenged once again by Montgomery.
4 receivers. Montgomery is back to pass. He will fire it out to the right side, and that was a laser out to the 49-yard line where it's caught close to the first down marker by Darrell Williams.
And I tell you what, I'm not sure that was a slam dunk. That might have been a first down, but that would have been at least worth a look.
They go ahead and move the sticks, though. 46 seconds left in the half, and Montgomery will now run it after looking downfield for the pass. He's going to get away from the line of scrimmage across the 40, and he'll get run out of bounds. As he gets close to the 30-yard line, they'll mark it at the 31. The Redskin fans looking for maybe a block in the back over here on the near side.
Yeah, but in the meantime, that's what Montgomery would concern me with. Not as much, you know, with his arm, although he's got a very strong one as there's 34 seconds left. But just breaking that pocket, it's going to be tough for linemen to be able to take him down in space. As you can see, even Cockrell not able to catch up with him.
Montgomery with good protection and time. He will now roll out to the right. A flag comes down. He backs up and fires it towards the middle of the field. Cameron Locke will intercept it at the 3-yard line.
And that's going to be Locke's only second interception for the year. There's a flag down the backfield. I believe that's going to be a holding call that the Redskins are going to decline. And with 22 seconds left in what we thought was going to be this high-scoring game.
54 the offense. Penalties decline.
Well, we thought it was going to be this high-scoring offense between two teams averaging 30 points a game. It's going to be a 3-0 halftime score.
Right. Just 22 seconds left before the break.
So just a big credit to the defense here of Wapak, led by defensive coordinator Mike Voll. Really doing the job so far. As you mentioned, they bended on the first couple of possessions, but did not break. Had a 3-and-out, and now a big turnover.
Now Huffman will keep it himself, and the pile moves across the 5 up to the 6-yard line. And that will likely be the final play the Redskins have to run here in the half. Time winding down under 10 seconds, and the Redskins will take a 3-0 lead into the locker room. So Tristan Meyer, the only one to get on the board in the first half. And these regional semifinals go to the break with the Redskins on top. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
that Tristan Meyer field goal right there that capped that highlight package is the only scoring that took place in the first half. A half that was dominated by two defenses that were really put to the test here tonight, Paul.
Yeah, and both of them showing bend but not breaking properties. Specifically, really impressive to keep this Vaughn and Mount Healthy offense completely off the board. David Montgomery at 94 yards rushing in the first half, but most importantly, no points.
This kick will be fielded inside the 20 after taking a couple of bounces. And
the ball's loose.
It looks like it's loose at the 25-yard line. And we'll see who comes out of that pile with it. Waller took a hit toward the end of that run. And Redskins obviously pointing that they have it, and they do. So a huge break for the Wapakoneta Redskins as they will start this possession at the Mount Healthy 26-yard line.
And that's sophomore Jace Copeland, who's also a basketball standout for the Wapak Redskins. Johnny on the spot in there. You see how it squirts right to him. It's between his legs right there, and he's able to recover it. Sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and this time the Redskins get a huge break to start the second half.
Well, that's going to take some of the wind out of the sails for Mount Healthy, and some contact on the far side there. I'm not sure who moved in. Looks like Ethan Good took a step first.
Yeah, that's something that just can't happen. You can't have your wide receiver jump offside. So Ethan Good's going to cost the Redskins 5 yards. So shooting yourself in the foot a little bit. 2 mistakes so far to start the second half. However, the big one is the change of possession.
Well, and they've still got pretty good field position, Paul, at the Mount Healthy 32-yard line.
They do, but you're behind the sticks already now, first and 15.
Good lines up wide to the near side this time, and the handoff will go to Cockrell, who bounces off one tackler. As a flag comes down, he'll get close to the original line of scrimmage.
And that flag is in where there's usually called holding, and that is the preliminary call. So 2 plays, 2 penalties on the Redskins after getting that big turnover on the opening kickoff.
So they have backed themselves up all the way out to the 42-yard line after taking over on the fumble at the 26. Actually, they're making it the 44-yard line, excuse me.
And the Redskins were the second least penalized team in the Western Buckeye League in the regular season. Last week, they went without being penalized, and that is their 3rd penalty of the game, but second in consecutive snaps.
Well, they move that ball up to the 43-yard line now. Locke will take the handoff, trying to find the near side. He's hitting the backfield, and then he's going to be dropped for a loss out to the 47. And the Redskins, after recovering that fumble on the opening kickoff of this half, have done nothing but go the wrong way.
Yeah, Elijah Williams able to get out there, and you're right. It's 2nd and 29 for the Redskins after that big turnover. And you can't get too down on yourself right now because that you have at worst flipped the field position with that turnover. And you still have guys that, in the next couple plays could potentially still pop a big play. So I guess stay positive in yourself and just focus on your execution.
Well, and Montgomery is standing on the sideline, which always helps. Here's the handoff to Locke, right up the middle of the field to the 35. Bounces off one tackle, stays on his feet at the 30. He's going to pick up the first down and more.
And it fumbled.
The 25, and the ball comes loose. And it looks like the Redskins have recovered it, but it'll be at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, Court Miracle able to jump on that fumble. Cameron Locke showing incredible toughness, but sometimes when you try to continue just to push and push and push, that's when sometimes ball security does become an issue. You can see this time able to defeat that tackle of Daly, but the ball does come loose, and luckily Court Miracle there to be able to get on it. So as I mentioned, you have guys that can make big plays. Now it's 3rd and 7,
right.
A lot more manageable than it was before.
Yes, absolutely. I misspoke and said that he got the first down, but he's close to the first down, or closer, rather, and a 3rd down coming up. Here is Locke again, down to the 20-yard line, and now Paul, you're in a situation where maybe Tristan Meyer can add to that score.
You can, but the other team doesn't kick field goals, so 6 points really doesn't do anything for you.
Okay.
So to me, you go for this and try to put a touchdown on the board and go up 2 scores. If you're going against a team that kicks field goals, then it's more of an issue. In this, you're going to go up 6-0, and then you're counting on the propensity to miss an extra point for this to hold up.
Well, it looks like Coach Meyer is going to go with the field goal attempt here. It'll be 37 yards for Tristan Meyer. The hold is down, the kick is up, and that one is good. So Tristan Meyer, 2 for 2 kicking field goals tonight. He matches his previous season long at 37 yards. And now with 8:59 remaining here in the third quarter, the Redskins have a 6-0 lead. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, pop money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Well, Tristan Meyer teeing it up to kick it away after he's knocked through his second field goal of the night. The only scoring tonight has come through off the foot of Tristan Meyer. He's hit field goals of 41 and 37 yards. And the Redskins with a 6-0 lead. They're able to get 3 points off that fumbled kickoff return. And this time a short kick, and it'll be covered at the 34-yard line by the Fighting Owls.
Well, so this is going to be the first look here for the offense for Mount Healthy here in the second half. They were supposed to get the ball first, but the fumble and the kickoff changed that. Almost a moral victory for the Owls to hold the Redskins to 3 points on that possession after giving up that fumble. But still, the Redskins made the smart play, took the points on the board, and now lead 6-0.
Well, the way that drive started with the 2 back-to-back penalties and then the tackle for loss, they were lucky to get back to field goal position rather. Montgomery with the carry off to the right side, and he'll get up to the 42-yard line.
So again, remember Montgomery averages 230 yards rushing per game, a little bit under that mark right now at 94 yards coming into this half. But he is a danger. But most importantly, they have been able to keep him away from scoring the end zone. Dan, he averages about 4 touchdowns a game himself.
And almost 11 yards a carry. For the entire season, that's what he averaged. This is off the right side. He'll pick up the first down to the 45-yard line.
There's a good look at it. The Wapak student section always travels very well, braving the elements in the cold, although not nearly as windy as it's been the last couple days.
Yes.
Earlier this afternoon, it was still howling, winding, and luckily for especially our cameramen and everybody else braving the weather out there.
I was just going to say, the guys on the roof really appreciate the wind dying down. Montgomery fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself, and a flag comes down as he gets across midfield to the 49-yard line.
And the flag in the area where you'd expect holding to be called. So, we've seen a lot more laundry here in the second half. And that was one of the first times where you actually ran a zone read with Montgomery. Generally, his runs have been just runs where they're called, you're running the ball, whether it's to the outside or off play fakes. But that time looked like he actually did read.
So this is going to back them up to the 35-yard line.
And the penalty was called on the center, 71, Justin Clark. I want to bring him up just because he is a huge center at 6'4", 270, and only a junior.
Well, it'll be 1st and 20 now for the Owls. Young is in the backfield with Montgomery. They will pitch it, and now a throw by the man in motion. He lobs it down the near side, and that ball is broken up. And it was a pretty well thrown ball by Brian Cook, and he was looking to hook up with Jackson on the near side, but it was broken up.
Yeah, actually, I believe that's Darrell Williams on the pass. He's actually passed 3 times earlier this year, including one for a touchdown. But most importantly, that ball hung up a little bit and gave Nate Elsass plenty of time. Well, I shouldn't say plenty of time, just enough time to be able to get there and knock the ball away, because the potential for the big play was there. We can see right there running kind of the reverse pass, and it was open.
Yeah, Jackson had to slow down and come back to that ball.
So a missed opportunity for the Owls as Elsass able to make the big play.
Here's Montgomery again on the carry. He's tripped in the backfield but stays on his feet, comes to the near side, and he's going to go out of bounds near the 45. It looks like they'll spot him up to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, about a gain of 12 right there, and that's the first time he's really had a true positive gain when they made it kind of ugly. So he had to show, some patience and with some of his cuts early on. When the Redskins have been able to make it and disruptive there on the edge, they've usually been stopping him. So, a little bit of adjustment there on Montgomery.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. The Owls 2 for 5 on 3rd down so far tonight. Young on the left hip of Montgomery in the shotgun. And it'll be Montgomery to bring it to the near side, and he's going to be knocked down at midfield, about 5 yards short of the 1st down. He took a pretty good pop in the back there, Paul.
Yeah, Jared Cockrell there with the big hit, as you mentioned, but Montgomery was just looking to see if he could find some sort of gap, but the Redskins had a lot of gap integrity there on the outside to where he didn't really have a place to go.
Well, Mount Healthy looks like they're going to kick the ball away.
So we have seen before Montgomery in previous games do a fake punt, not just running the ball, but willing to throw the ball as well. So something I have to look out for. But again, Montgomery is a very talented punter too. So plenty of good options here for.
Right now, he's set to kick it away from the 40-yard line, and the officials checking on something there before the start of that play. Looks like an equipment issue with Young in the backfield there. Cameron Locke stands back at his own 16-yard line.
Yep, he's going to fake it.
Now Montgomery will throw it. He fires it out to the right side, and that ball is caught at the 40-yard line, and they convert on that 4th down, and the Owls will move the ball.
Yeah, Brian Cook, it's kind of exactly the similar play that I saw them run against Northwest in Week 10, where he takes a couple steps to make it look like he's going to punt, but then he goes ahead and throws the ball to the outside where he got one-on-one coverage. So a big 4th down conversion on the fake punt, and the first pass completion of the game, second pass completion of the game for Mount Healthy.
11 yards of the reception sets them up at the 39-yard line on the Wapak side of the field. Montgomery fakes the handoff, then tries to keep it himself. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he'll go down as Landon Hall had a hold of his foot.
Yeah, sure tackling Landon Hall, able to make the play after Montgomery's path to the outside was cut off, and where he had to try to reroute to the middle.
So a loss on the play brings up a 2nd down and 11. And we close in on 6 minutes to play here, 3rd quarter.
So that 4th down conversion on the fake punt almost feels like a turnover when that happens to you. So the defense thought they were getting off the field, but now they're right back out there.
Waller in motion. They fake the handoff to him, and Montgomery keeps it himself. He's going to be hit and brought down as he gets inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. So let's take another look at that fake punt.
So he takes a couple steps, and now he's going to the outside. in just a little bit of soft coverage. It's actually a pretty well executed pattern. The coverage wasn't that poor.
Maybe the best thrown ball he's had tonight.
No doubt.
So a 3rd down and 4. And the one thing the Redskins defense has done all night long is force these Owls into 3rd downs. Montgomery will take it up the middle himself. He's going to pick up the 1st down as he gets inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
And that's going to be their 13th first down of the game. In comparison, Wapak only has 5.
But all of their first downs, Paul, have come in between the 10s. They really haven't. When they got down to the 6-yard line, they went backwards on 3 plays. They weren't able to get into the end zone. They faltered when they got into the red zone on the other end as well. So the 10th play of this drive coming up. Montgomery will follow Young to the right side, and he's going to slip through inside the 25 and go out of bounds near the 20-yard line.
And again, meshing through and leaning forward for more yards is Montgomery, not just a speedster.
Now, Paul, when you talk about like a spread offense, you get down into this part of the field, and it kind of changes the way that they have to play because of the depth that they have available. Does it affect this style of offense at all at this stage?
Not nearly as much because they're a running team. You know, they're using those receivers as blockers 90% of the time and not as receivers where you do have to adjust your routes when you get closer.
Here's the handoff to Young. He goes to the right side. He is hit at the stick, and it looks like he's going to fall forward and pick up the 1st down. So they will mark it at the 17-yard line, enough for a 1st down for the Owls.
And lo and behold, it's almost underneath 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter already. As a long drawn out, that is going to be the 12th play of this drive after what looked to be the end of the drive by forcing the punt.
Montgomery fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, goes to the right side, and he dives across the 15-yard line to the 14. A gain of 4 on the play.
Tell you what, I don't know what David Montgomery feels like on mornings, but you know he absorbs some hits throughout the course of the game.
Well, it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 now. And this Owls team, they have not been in a real rush on this possession. They've taken their time, grinded it down. Montgomery will again keep it himself. He will get some contact in the backfield, but he escapes to the near sideline. He's going to go out of bounds just shy of the end zone at the 2-yard line.
But there's a flag down, and it's going to go back again. Yet another holding call.
So,
that's a big flag for the Redskins because that's going to be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Now this is going to bring up about a 2nd and 15.
Yeah.
And they got Clark once again.
Yeah, that's going to push them back outside the. Let's take another look at this one, see if we can pick it up.
Well, they called it on right there, right at the beginning, and Miracle looks like he might have been able to make the play, and they're going to call Clark for wrapping his arm around him.
Well, that puts the ball out to the 23-yard line. Just over 3 minutes to go here, 3rd quarter. So a 2nd down and 15 now for the Owls. They have not done well when they have gotten close to the end zone, and they were at the 1-yard line if they hadn't had the holding penalty. Now Montgomery will throw, lofts it up the middle of the field. It's going to be caught, and getting into the end zone for the touchdown is Williams. Darrell Williams on the receiving end of that. He was wide open in the middle of the field.
Well conceived play right there. It looked like they were going to try to sell just the quarterback sweep to the left. Took a few steps to Montgomery, and then they just ran Williams right down the middle of the field, threw it up for him, and now the game is tied, and it brings up a very crucial extra point. And as mentioned kind of earlier before, this has not been a strong point of the Owls.
The extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And so the Owls get on the board for the first time tonight, and they take their first lead of the ball game here with 2:56 remaining in the third quarter. You are watching high school football playoff action on Game Face Ohio.
6 minutes, 1 second.
Hello? Call dropped? Hello? No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you.
With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
Well, Montgomery has not had a lot of success throwing the ball, but he connects here with Darrell Williams for a 23-yard touchdown pass. And the extra point by Barron made it a 7-6 healthy lead. And they took 6 minutes and 1 second to go 66 yards on 13 plays to get into the end zone for the first time tonight.
An onside kick.
And it'll be covered by the Redskins at the 46-yard line. And I believe that was Copeland that.
Yep, Tyler Copeland.
On that one.
So Montgomery has 140 yards rushing so far, but it was actually his arm this time that put them up in the lead. That's only his 7th touchdown passing of the year, and that's Williams' 2nd touchdown reception of the year.
So the Redskins have some ground to make up here. Huffman will be under center. It'll be Hall and Locke in the backfield, and Cameron Locke will shoulder this one for 9 yards into Owl territory to the 46-yard line.
And I really think you need to just kind of, ride the horse that brought you. And I don't just mean necessarily give the ball to Cameron Locke all the time, but I think just some power running, I think is really the strength of this team. And you got to feel confident that if we don't hurt ourselves with penalties and we take care of the football, we just execute our running plays, we're going to get in the end zone.
Here is Landon Hall off the left side. He has the first down and a little more up to the 40-yard line. Well, and Paul, you talked about this defense will give up some yards on the ground.
Yeah, coming into the game, at least in the regular season, this Mount Healthy defense out of their 7-team league actually ranked 5th in total yards given up at 309 yards overall and averaging giving up 174 yards on the ground. So there's yards to be out there, especially for when that's the strength of your team offensively.
Here's Cameron Locke up the middle again, inside the 35 and down to the 31-yard line. So Cameron Locke has had 2 carries on this possession, and each of them has gone for 9 yards.
And going back to winning first down, and right now the Redskins are winning first down on this possession. That's only their, actually the second one here, trying to pick up another first down.
Handoff, Landon Hall. He will pick up the first down to the 28-yard line.
And that's their 2nd first down of this drive, only their 7th of the entire game. And this is about where they started off their first possession before they started to go backwards.
Right. They would like to avoid that scenario again here. So far, it has been handed off to Locke, handed off to Landon Hall. It's Locke's turn, and he goes to the left side. He picks up positive yards inside the 25 and down to the 23-yard line. Give him 6 on that carry. And we are down to almost a minute to play here in this third quarter. So the Redskins trying to answer after a scoring drive by the Owls. So Cameron Locke on that carry on first down goes for 6 yards. So 9 yards on each of his first 2 carries.
I fumbled again.
And the ball is loose, and it looks like it's covered by the Owls. So that one is going to be picked up by Mount Healthy, and they're going to have the ball at their own 16-yard line.
Yeah, Elijah Williams able to get the loose ball in a first turnover for the Redskins. So we can see right here, had a lot of success going up the middle, but stripped as the ball goes into Locke's hands, and it did appear to be out. So a promising drive derailed by a turnover.
Well, the Redskins may have learned something, at least on that possession, that they have had success running straight up the middle. So the ball goes back over to the Owls. Montgomery in the shotgun on first down and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He will take it to the right side, still on his feet. He picks up a first down. He's in a foot race to the far side, and he's going to go out near midfield.
But yet there's another flag.
Wow. Flag all the way back at the line of scrimmage. And the Owls have killed themselves on holding penalties here tonight.
Well, this is going to be an illegal chop block.
Well, they have negated some big plays with penalties in this ball game.
And that's going to be a big one. It's probably going to be a half of the distance penalty considering where they're at. But just as much as anything, that negates about a 30-yard run.
Right. There's a huge difference between midfield and where the Owls are going to be starting this next play.
And a little bit of a development. Court Miracle comes limping off and is being looked at there on the sidelines.
And Court has had couple of carries already tonight.
And maybe we can see this replay. You can see it right there. It was on Court Miracle, who's kind of the recipient of that is on the bench now. Now he's off the bench, hopefully getting there. But off the line, you can actually cut block immediately off the snap, but you can't do it when he's engaged with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. So a good call by the officials there. Negates a big run by Montgomery. It's now 1st and 20 at their own 9-yard line. Montgomery trying the same run again. Goes off the right side, and he'll get back across the original line of scrimmage and a couple yards more up to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, so he gets all that penalty yardage back as he's upended there by Maddox Lyles. But Mount Healthy, playing with the lead for the first time tonight with the ball.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter. So with the Owls on top 7-6, we will move to the final frame. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
That's brutal. Welcome back here for the start of the fourth quarter of play, and we have a tight ball game here. 7-6, the Owls on top, and the Redskins trying to shut down David Montgomery and this Owls offense here. 2nd down and 9 coming up.
Well, since that successful fake punt, the Redskins have yet to really get a negative play without the help of a flag.
Montgomery is back to pass. He connects, and a hit there immediately by Huffman after making the catch. And on the receiving end was Roberson. And that'll give the Owls another first down. And I think we've seen a little bit more confidence in Montgomery throwing the ball since that fake punt.
Yeah, I believe you're right. And, you know, they kind of dug themselves out of a self-made hole with a 1st and 20 and was able to pick it up in 2 downs.
So the ball out to the 33-yard line on the Mount Healthy side of the field. Montgomery will again run it, this time to the far side, and he is going to be rolled down as he gets across the 35 to the 38-yard line. But another nice gain on a first down, Paul.
Yeah, you know what it comes down to a lot in this game is winning first down. And, you know, the offenses lately have been winning first down. And what's really been stopping both offenses sometimes has been some, you know, self-inflicted plays with either penalties or turnovers.
Mm-hmm. So they'll spot that one at the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 5 now for the Owls. Montgomery again to the far side, and this time he's going to be stacked up after a short gain up to the 41-yard line.
Well played, and even though he won't get credit for the tackle, Marcus South really disrupted the timing of that play by getting some penetration, getting to the feet of Montgomery, forced him to kind of stop in his tracks and then go back into the pursuit.
So the Owls now on a 3rd down and 3. They are 3 out of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Redskin crowd making some noise. Montgomery is hit at the line of scrimmage, and then he's going to fall forward. Another flag comes down in the backfield area of the Owls, and it looks like it's going to go against Mount Healthy.
And I tell you what, those 10-yard penalties are tough at any time, but especially when you just picked up a 3rd and 3, because a 10-yard penalty, 3rd and 13 is worlds different than 3rd and 3.
And we'll wait for the call from the official.
You know, probably be slightly different than 3rd and 13 because it is a spot foul.
Mm-hmm.
Holding 55 of the offense. 10 yards from the spot. 3-play, 3rd down.
Well, let's see if we can pick up on that holding penalty here. And there you see that one's pretty obvious.
Yeah, kind of no doubt right there. That's Siobhan Martin there with the flag.
So now the Owls have been penalized 6 times for 49 yards, and it seems like they have hurt themselves at very critical times with the penalties. 3rd down and 14 here.
And I think the Redskins crowd realize the gravity of this moment. They need to stop here.
Montgomery will pitch it.
He's going to throw it again.
And Williams will throw it down the far sideline. That one is tipped and taken away by the Redskins at the 30-yard line. Nice tip and take away by Drew Ball.
The son of the defensive coordinator, Drew Ball, with his 3rd interception of the year. They tried the same reverse pass that they tried to hit earlier that was wide open, but just put a little bit too much on it the first time. This time, much better covered. Puts on more of a line and just not open that time, and good concentration to be able to hold on to that.
Roberson, the intended target again over there on the far side, and the Redskins come away with the takeaway and now have an opportunity. 1st down and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Let's see how they approach it offensively here. It'll be Locke up the middle, and he gets to the 30 and a yard on the carry, maybe a little more.
So there's stoppage and clock. Not exactly sure what that was, but that time you'd have to give.
Looks like number 60 lost his helmet there on that.
You'd have to give credit to the Owls for winning first down that time, but you know there's still a lot of game to play. There's 10 minutes running here in the 4th quarter. It's a 1-point game.
Right.
You know, you just have to try to continue to get positive plays and move the chains.
Here is Locke coming to the near side. Finds the corner to the 35. and he'll go down across the 40 after picking up the first down to the 42-yard line.
I think Cameron Locke felt that he got some action up in his face mask as well, but even without that call, it's enough for the first down. We've seen the Redskins attack the middle a lot, and that really left them susceptible to go to the outside, which is really the bread and butter of Cameron Locke.
Yeah. 13 yards on the carry. They spotted at the 43-yard line. They peppered that inside of the line on their last possession before the fumble. And that really, like you said, Paul, opened up that outside lane. Here's Landon Hall up the center of the field. Nice spin move, and he'll go down across the 50 and into Owls territory to the 49-yard line.
And that's more like what they want to be able to get there on first down as we go to the replay to
Well, that was the first down carry. He got maybe a yard on that carry as the Owls were ready for that inside run. But the Redskins since then have gone to the outside, and then Landon Hall took it right up the middle. So a second down and 3 now. Huffman back to pass, looking, lobs it out to Locke on the right side. He makes the catch at the 45, and he'll be spun out of bounds inside the 40 at the 37-yard line. Another first down for the Redskins.
Really nice play call right there by Travis Moyer, giving Huffman a play-action pass, and Cameron Locke was wide open to be able to get some confidence in his senior quarterback. That moves the chains for a 14-yard gain, but most importantly, keeps it moving. And
well, you wonder, Paul, if you're the defense for this Owls team, how do you let Cameron Locke get that wide open? This ball off the right side. A flag comes in, and it looked like a face mask there as Locke took it off the right side. Right now, he's down at the 32-yard line, and the Owls are going to help them out with 15 extra yards here, it looks like.
Yeah, and this would be, if that's what the call indeed be, that would be the 7th penalty. And it is the personal foul face mask. And a lot of these penalties have been of the major variety. We'll see here in this replay, just running an off tackle play, been cutting up inside, and
well, it definitely turned him around.
But hey, we didn't have a great angle. We couldn't tell if it was on his face mask or on his shoulder pad. But regardless, the officials are the ones that count, and they called it on the face mask. So the Redskins now within the 20-yard line and in the red zone.
And the handoff goes up the middle with Landon Hall, who fights his way inside the 15-yard line and down to the 12.
Well, a couple of things to look at it. First of all, to show you why Travis Moyer's won a lot of football games and why he took the points earlier, is they're a field goal away from being able to take the lead right here. However, I really think it is very important for the Redskins to get into the end zone and give themselves maybe a little bit of breathing space.
Huffman under center. Handoff to Locke going right side. He's grabbed in the backfield, but escapes the arm tackle inside the 10. And looks like he's going to be about a yard short of that first down.
And this brings up a third and about a short 2. And this is going to be a very, very interesting play to see if there's going to be a tough decision on fourth down for Coach Moyer. Obviously, the Redskins, just so close to be able to smell that end zone, have not been in there yet tonight.
The 8th play of the drive coming up now for the Redskins. It's a 3rd down and 2. Huffman under center. Handoff. Landon Hall left side. He'll get down to the 5 and a first down.
And Landon Hall has been getting some tough yardage between the tackles. And the deepest penetration of the night for the Redskins coming at the most opportune time with 7:43 left in regulation.
1st and goal for the Redskins now at the Owls' 5-yard line. They will come to the line of scrimmage. Hall and Locke in the backfield. Miracle in the wing on the right. Handoff Locke going left side, finds a crease. He's down inside the 2 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
So for the first time tonight, the Redskins able to get into the end zone for pay dirt. Cameron Locke goes the rest of the way for his 30th overall touchdown of the year, his 26th on the ground, and the Redskins retake the lead.
So Cameron Locke, who lost the ball that set up the touchdown for the Owls, now comes back and scores the go-ahead touchdown for the Redskins, and they will keep the offense out there on the field to set up a 2-point conversion.
They are, and this is enormous because it is a 5-point game. You could kick the extra point, make it a 6-point game where, touchdown ties it, and they would have to convert, which they struggle with. In this case, if you get it, it's a 7-point game.
Huffman is under center. 2 receivers out there to the right. And he takes a long count and then a timeout taken. No, false start going to be called against the Redskins.
No, it looks like they wanted to get a timeout because they wanted to get some motion, and they weren't going in motion. But the official does call the penalty unless maybe they're going to talk about it.
Let's see, there must be some. It looked like the official in the near sideline motioned for the timeout call, and the official in the backfield was calling the false start. So we'll see what they decide, whether the timeout was called first or. No official. No indication yet, yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
No, they're going to mark it off, and we'll see if this changes the mindset.
And Coach Moyer still talking to Huffman over here on the near sideline.
Obviously, this changes things quite a bit.
Right.
Now it's an 8-yard to go conversion for 2 points.
Same formation here, although they put Locke out wide to the left. Now they put Huffman in the shotgun with Landon Hall back there with him. And Huffman is back to pass. Fires it left side, looking for Locke, and a flag comes down in the end zone, and it looks like they're going to get the pass interference call.
And Javonte Williams was locked up with Cameron Locke. And for as important as the 2 points this is, there's going to be both teams that are going to have to really work for it. That's important that this different how rules are at different places. In the NFL, the ball will be at the 1-yard line.
Right.
A big difference, but this is only a half of the distance. So now it's at the 4, so it's still not better than it was when they originally got that 5-yard penalty.
So for the 3rd time, the Redskins will line up to attempt a 2-point conversion. Locke lines up in the wing on the left. They put him in motion across the backfield to the far side. Huffman will roll out that way, looking, lobs it towards the back of the end zone, and it's overthrown and incomplete. And the Redskins' 2-point conversion attempt is no good. So with 7:21 remaining in this game, the Redskins with a 5-point edge here in the 4th quarter. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Come out to Astro Lanes in the Loft Bar and Grill, where you can find great food, good drinks, fun games, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time.
Tristan Meyer has it teed up to kick it away. And it'll be a pooch kick that'll be fielded inside the 30-yard line. Going to the far side, a flag comes down on the return. And up the far sideline and finally wrestled down inside the 40-yard line is Etheridge. But the penalty flag back at the Mount Healthy 39-yard line.
And a lot of flags that we have seen so far, especially on the Mount Healthy Owls. And this is going to take it back to about the 30-yard line. So there's 7:20 left in the game. We're kind of setting the stage right here. It's a 5-point game. So if you're Mount Healthy, you just need a touchdown to be able to take the lead. So you don't have to really be concerned about the clock that much really at this point. You just have to worry about let's move the ball, continue to move the ball, don't hurt ourselves with penalties, and you have a chance to be able to win this football game. Conversely, Coach Moyers, looking at it from the Redskins standpoint, defense has been tremendous all game long. For a team that scores 34 points a game, they've held them to 7. So they have been doing a tremendous job, and they just need to be able to hold the Owls down a couple more times.
Man in motion across the backfield. Montgomery will keep it himself. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he'll go down as he gets to the 34-yard line. 4-yard gain on first down. Cameron Locke got the first touchdown of the ball game for the Redskins on a 9-play, 71-yard drive. 3 minutes and 2 seconds on that possession for the Redskins, ending on a 5-yard run by Cameron Locke. Here's Montgomery to the near side. Play strung out pretty well by the Redskins. He's going to get up to the 39-yard line. That'll leave them about a yard short of the first down. And Montgomery a little slow to get up.
You want to talk about a game changer.
Yeah. Boy, he is rolling around in a lot of pain on the near side. Well, the training staff will be out to take a look at David Montgomery as the Owls face a third down coming up. 6:35 left in this one. We'll come back and check on Mr. Montgomery after this. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today.
Well, here's the play that led to the injury of David Montgomery. And you see him make a cut there, and he had kind of a awkward angle on that. I think it was his left foot there.
And he is being helped off, and now he was being helped walking off. Now he's being carried off to the sidelines. You can just see there at the top of the screen. Obviously a tremendous athlete, and we'd hate to see anybody get hurt.
Right.
This does change the dynamic of this game quite a bit.
Yes.
Now looks at taking snaps at quarterback is number 10, Jarrell Williams. We've seen him throw the ball a couple times.
3rd and 1 now, and he will run it. Comes it to the near side, brings it to the near side rather, and he'll pick up the first down to the 43-yard line.
To get back to just the injury, just one more moment. It looked like that was a non-contact, just trying to cut, and just sometimes funny things happen when you try to cut like that. So again, hopefully it looks like an ankle injury, and we hope that Mr. Montgomery is okay.
Boy, you hate to see a kid. He's a senior, and this could be his final ball game. Here is Waller. And he's going to be shut down for a loss as he gets hit by 4 Redskins behind the line of scrimmage back to the 41-yard line.
And let's just kind of talk about, you had someone that's, a multi-year starter in David Montgomery at quarterback, but now with under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in the second round of the playoffs, you throw somebody else, even though he's an experienced varsity player that's been playing every snap, but now at quarterback, that just changes kind of everything about how you function, your plays. You're used to handoffs and people being at different spots. It's be interested to see how things time up. At least for that play, the Redskins got the advantage.
Williams is back to pass, fires it over the right side, and it goes off the hands of Jackson, his intended receiver. It would have been a first down had Jackson been able to haul that one in because he was inside the 45-yard line of the Redskins.
Yeah, and Jackson is actually their leading receiver in terms of yardage, with one that I'm sure he would like to have back because that would have moved the chains, but instead it's now a 3rd and 12, and the Redskins faithful once again on their feet.
Well, Owls are 4 out of 9 on 3rd down conversions so far tonight. And there you see that ball.
I tell you what, it might not have been as easy to catch as we saw from up here. He had to extend his hands out for that.
Timeout going to be taken by the Redskins with 5:22 left in this game. We'll take a timeout as well. Redskins on top, 12-7. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
For over 100 years, the Stolly Insurance Team has been looking out for you.
We have access to major insurance companies all over the country. But together, we can customize an insurance program that will offer you the best coverage for the best premiums.
Let us look out for you. Give us a call for a personalized proposal today.
Proudly featuring Motorist Insurance, Stolly Insurance in Lima, Walpock, Salina, and Lakeview. Representing Motorist Insurance Group and other fine insurance companies. Stolly Insurance.
5:22 left in this ball game. Mount Healthy with the ball, trailing 12-7.
Remember, the winner of this game plays the winner of Trotwood Madison Tippett Canoe, and that is also a tight game going into the fourth quarter as well.
Redskins are familiar with both of those teams. And a whistle and a timeout going to be taken by Mount Healthy on the far side. And Paul, so far, we saw David Montgomery go down with what looked to be an ankle injury, and we don't have any report from the sideline on that. But so far, their offense running pretty much the same way. I mean, they haven't deviated from their play calling that much with Williams in the backfield.
Because I really doubt that R.V. Crouch really has a plan to where, okay, if he's not in there, we're going to run an entirely different package. You still have 10 guys out there that are used to executing a package, and in terms of from high school football, you're just going to kind of run what your offense happens to be. And Darrell Williams, as a junior, he may very well be the starting quarterback next year. So I'm sure he's gotten some reps in practice. They know what the plays are at this stage in the game, so doesn't make it any easier to be able to execute, especially when we're going against a very stout defense in the Wapakoneta Redskins.
Mm-hmm. Well, a 3rd down and 12 now. Williams remains in at the quarterback spot. Young is back there with him on his left hip. 3 receivers to the right now. Williams is back to pass, gets some pressure. He's flushed out to the near side, fires it down the near hash, and it's going to be a good 5 yards short of his intended receiver at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Tree Roberson actually did get open a little bit on a little dig pattern to the inside, but would have been a really, really tough pass.
Well, now a 4th down and 12 coming up.
And in this stage in the game, you're probably going to go for it here. Not messing around with the pretense of a fake punt.
Well, and then it would be a backup punter anyway, because Montgomery handled all of the punting duties. Williams rolls out to the near side. He's going to get pressure from Crawford again. Fires it to the near sideline, and it looks like it was intercepted. They're going to say it's incomplete.
But 4th down.
It goes over to the Redskins either way. Yeah, and they're going to have outstanding field position here.
Irregardless, Nate Elsass with a tremendous coverage, but really credit Corey Crawford with the pressure, and that forced the backup quarterback Darrell Williams to have to hurry his throw. And as you mentioned, with 5:09 left to go in regulation, nursing a 5-point lead, the Redskins with tremendous field position. And Coach Moyer's message has got to be, let's move the chains, possess the football, and win the game.
Boy, and Corey Crawford really applying the pressure on those last two plays, disrupting Williams' his throws. And
great look right there.
Yeah.
That Elsass caught the ball, but he was out of bounds, so that's what made it incomplete.
Hand off to Locke, going to the right side. He'll bounce it down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the first down carry.
Yeah, not ideal, but minimum of 3 yards per play is what they're looking at. And again, remember, they've had a lot of success, especially with Landon Hall getting the ball running between the tackles as well. So again, this has really been a true tandem running the ball successfully. It's not just been Cameron Locke.
Mm-hmm. And the Redskins allowing the play clock to wind down a little bit. This play stuffed in the backfield. Good penetration by the Owls defensively, and Locke goes nowhere on that second down carry.
Yeah, we've seen Collier. That's the second time that he's been in there and really blown things up. He really timed that blitz up, and that negative play knocks them all the way back to making it a 3rd and 10.
Mm-hmm. So the officials taking a timeout. Now they'll wind the clock. 4:13 left in this one.
And the Redskins' clock is in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
They would like to use up a lot of that play clock, but they sure would like to gain some more yards and move the chains.
And Landon Hall, you see, checking out of the ball game. Just 10 seconds left on the play clock here as the Redskins break the huddle. Copeland out there along with Ethan Good wide to the near side. And they'll snap this one with 2 seconds left on the play clock, and Huffman is going to keep it himself. He takes a pretty good lick as he goes down at the 42, and flags coming in from all sides as that play comes to an end. And we'll see what the flag is about. 3:45 left in this game.
Looks to be on the Redskins, but that will be declined to bring up 4th down.
So now, Paul, you're in a 4th down and 9 situation at the 42-yard line of the Owls.
Yeah, this is a no doubt. You punt the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need to be in a hurry because the ball is going to be blown in for play and the clock's going to start. You want to use up some of that clock as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
But especially with the backup quarterback in, try to make them have to go the longest amount of field as possible.
Right. Well, Locke averages 38 yards on the season. Brian Cook is back to receive it. He stands at the 5.
And you definitely don't want this to be returned.
Locke will put the foot into it. High kick. Hits at the 20-yard line, takes a Mount Healthy bounce, and then moves toward the sideline. Looks like it's going to go out at around the 21-yard line.
And so it's only going to end up being about a 20-yard punt, give or take a few yards. But that's kind of what they needed. If he would have kicked about a 30-yarder that would have been able to be returned, there's a good chance he would have picked up more yards than that. And you can't risk giving up the big play. So that punt was not pretty, but it's probably exactly what they needed.
Well, it'll give the Owls the ball at the 20-yard line with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in this game. And the Wapakoneta clinging to a 12-7 lead.
And I tell you what, everyone that came here still got their money's worth tonight.
Montgomery still on the sideline, so Williams will be in there at the quarterback spot. And the officials.
It's interesting to see their approach. It seems like they like Williams out there more of a passer than a runner. You still have a lot of time with 2 timeouts and 3:11. I really think you can run whatever your offense happens to be.
And Williams will run it over to the far side. He's going to be knocked down as he goes out of bounds after a pickup of maybe a yard. So 2nd down and 9 coming up. Boy, and I'll tell you, Paul, watching another quarterback running these plays, and it looks like Montgomery might be back out there on the field. And
yeah.
He is. So David Montgomery, looks like they taped up that ankle, and he is back out there on the field. We'll see how he responds.
Really good look there at that left ankle. We'll see what the senior has to do. This could be my last game in high school. Coach put me back in there.
Mm-hmm. So 2nd down and 9 now, ball on the 21-yard line on the Owls side of the field. And the handoff will go to Young. Nope. Montgomery keeps it himself. He gets to the outside. He's still fighting up to the 29-yard line. So even with the bad ankle, he battles his way up close to a first down.
Well, they're calling that a first down, but if he's not to the 30, I'm not sure that should have been a first down. But
let's take another look here.
They're
well, there he goes up to the 30-yard line, but well, I don't know. Favorable spot.
Well, I'm not sure the spot's that favorable, but calling it a first down automatically was.
Mm-hmm. Montgomery will bring it to the near side. Redskins stringing it out. He's hit in the backfield and going to be dropped for a loss back to the 27-yard line.
That Cockrell, the first one that's in there, but Hall and Miracle able to kind of clean things up. Just as importantly, with getting the loss, the clock continues to run.
Mm-hmm. 2nd down. Let's say 12 here. 2:17 left in the game. Montgomery is a little bit gimpy getting up after that last run, and he is going to throw it here. Throws it left side. That ball looked like it was a little low, but they're going to call it a catch. No. Yeah, no, they wave it off now.
They're going to wave it off, but, if I'm Wapak, the clock still is running. They're going to need to kind of stop that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when you're at the end of the game, you'd give up 5 yards like what that one is, and that it did appear to bounce in.
Yeah.
For the exchange for the clock continue to run.
Right. The officials are conferencing there at the 27-yard line. I think they're probably going to put some time back on the clock because it looked like the.
Yeah, kind of tough to see, but it does appear like that ball bounced
back up there.
Bounced just a little bit, and right now there's 1:55 on the clock, and they did indeed put it up to 2:03 and added 8 seconds, which is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now it's a big 3rd and 12.
So far tonight, the Owls just 40% on 3rd down conversions. Montgomery back to pass. Looking, he's got some pressure. He'll fire it out to the near side, and he overthrows everybody as he was just getting rid of that ball, and he is slow to get up again.
Yeah, Crawford and South was right in on him, and Montgomery's slow to get up, but very heady just to get that ball out of there. If he would have taken the sack, not only would have lost yards, but they would have lost a lot of precious time. This does give them a chance to kind of get their bearings straight to come up with basically their season here on 4th and 12.
They have converted only 1 out of 4 attempts on 4th down.
And that was on a fake punt.
Right. And it looks like Wapakoneta will take a timeout here with 1:58 remaining. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan only from TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Well, just 1:58 left in this ball game. Wapakoneta taking a timeout before this critical 4th down and 12 play for the Owls.
And you have to understand, you can give up yards, but you can't let them get to the 40.
A flag is going to come down in the backfield, and it looks like maybe the Owls moved.
They're going to call that on Lee Young, the running back, and that's going to make it just that much harder because now the 4th and 12, which is difficult enough, becomes a 4th and 17. And the message Coach Moyer had to let his Redskins know that I was trying to mention was it's okay for them to gain yards in front of you, just don't let them get to the 40-yard line.
That will give the Owls now 10 penalties on the night.
Going under center.
2 receivers to each side. And Montgomery under center.
Double pass
to the left side. Looking down the field, he fires it. And that one is tipped and incomplete. And the ball goes over to the Redskins. So a big 4th down stop for the Redskin defense. And they have come up big all night.
Yeah, and the Owls dial up the trick play. They go under center for the first time tonight, which should tell you right now something was up. But that made it so that the angle when Montgomery passed the ball to the side, that it was going to be backwards, allowing the double pass to occur.
Well,
and
the complexion here, let's take another look at it, Paul.
Yeah, definitely the play goes backwards, and what they're trying to do is catch you napping that the ball is going to be ran there on a screen pass. But again, the Redskins understanding you can catch the ball there. You got to run 17 more yards to pick it up. We're afraid of you getting to the 40-yard line. So that attention to detail.
Well, Cameron Locke will take the handoff, and he stopped at the 25-yard line. So a loss in the play of a couple.
So
but for the Redskins, the important part is that the clock is still moving with 1.5 to go.
And the Owls do have 2 timeouts. It looks like they're going to opt to call them after 2nd and 3rd down. But the biggest thing right now for the Redskins is ball security. You just obviously you'd love to be able to break one and put this game away. But the biggest thing is you got to possess the football.
Cockrell is in the backfield with Locke. Huffman will be under center. They'll be able to get this down under a minute if they want. And Huffman goes up with the hard snap count and draws the Owls off sides.
The freshman Lonnie Phelps is going to cost his team 5 yards. And understand that a first down would basically end this ball game.
Well, the Owls have been their own worst enemy tonight. 11 penalties against them.
But here is one of the biggest keys right here is you ran off 20-some seconds on that play clock, but now you get to still be 2nd down, and the clock is going to start right now, so you can run another 20 seconds off. So you don't need to snap this till about the 40-second mark. So that not only cost you 5 yards, it cost you at least 20 seconds worth of time.
Right. And those seconds are critical here. The whole complexion of this ball game changed when Montgomery went down with the ankle injury. Here's the handoff, and Cockrell goes off the left side inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. And there is just 40 seconds left in this game.
So Mount Healthy going to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. It's going to be 3rd and 5. A couple different approaches that you could take right here. Obviously, you're going to run the ball here. If you can get 5 yards, game's over. You're moving on to the regional finals for the 2nd straight year. If you come up short, they're going to use a timeout, and then it could be a decision. Do you want to kick a field goal to go up 8 to kind of guarantee that the worst thing that could happen is a tie ball game with some sort of flukish touchdown and a 2-point conversion? Or do you just want to go for it on 4th down to try to put the game away, understanding if you don't get it, they have very limited amount of time to be able to go, in that case, maybe 85 yards, to which I would probably opt for that second option.
Yeah. Tristan Myers hit a couple of strong field goals tonight, though.
He had, but you know what? I would just feel more comfortable putting in all my offense, provided nothing negative really happens here on third down for my offense, and then trusting my defense to not let them go 85 yards compared to when you kick the ball off. That's the easiest time to get a big play.
Well, while we've got a second, we should thank all the folks down here at Northmont High School that they provided some great hospitality down here for this playoff football game. 3rd down and 5. Cockrell, right side, a flag comes down before this play gets off, and it looks like the Redskins may have backed themselves up.
Yeah, Case Childs, the tight end. So not the cleanest game here in this regional semifinal game between the two teams. Wapak, who usually doesn't get flagged a whole lot, I believe is that their 5th or 6th penalty. 5th penalty compared to 11 penalties for Mount Healthy.
So a 3rd down and 10 now.
You can see 40 seconds left on the clock. Sometimes when the crowd gets excited, that's not always showing up.
Here's Cockrell, left side. He is going to bowl his way down to the 15-yard line. I think the ball came loose, Paul. Nope.
No, but the biggest thing is, Dan, that's a first down. The extra effort is a first down. And for the 2nd consecutive year and for the 2nd time in school history, the Wapak Redskins are going to win their 2nd playoff game, and they're going to advance to the 3rd round, which is the farthest they have ever gone. And for the 2nd consecutive year, they're going to be 12-0.
Well, you look at the numbers, Paul, under Travis Moyer, coming into tonight 23-1 as the head coach of the Redskins. That's an impressive run.
And about to be 24-1, and a lot of happy people in red made the trip down south on I-75, are going to head back as the Redskins are victorious over the Mount Healthy Owls.
Well, they fought tooth and nail this whole ball game and come away with a 5-point victory. Our final score here tonight, it was the Redskins 12, Mount Healthy 7. And the Redskins will advance to the 3rd round of the playoffs. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Welcome back here to Northmont and Good Samaritan Stadium, and what was a cold night, but a good night for the Redskins as they come away with a 12-7 victory over Mount Healthy and advance to the 3rd round of the playoffs for the 2nd straight year. And they will face a familiar opponent as Trotwood Madison will be waiting there for them.
And
excuse me, Paul, go ahead.
And we'll talk about that just a little bit later, but what a classic that was last year.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the game recap here. We'll start with the first score of the ball game as the Redskins got on the board with 7 minutes and 9 seconds left in the first quarter on this 41-yard Tristan Meyer field goal that gave them a 3-0 lead. That was how we went into the locker room at halftime. It was 3-0 Redskins. In the 3rd quarter, Meyer added another field goal, this one from 37 yards out, and the Redskins took a 6-0 lead. Then with 2:56 remaining in the 3rd quarter, it was Montgomery to Williams for this 23-yard touchdown reception, a 13-play, 66-yard drive that gave them a 7-6 lead. The Redskins were able to answer back on his 5-yard run by Cameron Locke that gave them the lead, 12-7. The 2-point conversion was no good. And the Redskins able to run out the clock and come away with the victory here tonight by a final score of 12-7. Paul, let's go ahead and take a look at statistics from this one. A ball game that dominated by the defenses.
Yeah, we'll start looking at individual to begin with Mount Healthy. As expected, David Montgomery leads the way with 30 carries with 175 yards, but most importantly, 0 touchdowns on the ground. That is the only time this year he did not score a touchdown in some sort of game on the ground. Passing, however, was 4 for 11, passing for only 57 yards. Did have that one touchdown, as you saw. He also threw an interception. Looking over to Walpock, Cameron Locke leads the way with right at his average, 119 yards on the ground, including the one touchdown. Cockrell and Hall, not with big yardage, but key yardage when they needed it with 30 and 28 respectively, and Miracle with 21. Huffman only 2 for 6 passing with an interception and 17 yards. Let's look at total team stats. Mount Healthy actually kind of led the way with first downs 19-12 and overall net yards 279-213. So, again, they moved the ball a little bit, but most importantly, they were held for the lowest output of the year with 7 points. But you have to credit their defense. They held Walpock. That 12 points is the least they've scored all year, and that's also the fewest amount of points that Mount Healthy has done all year. So you just got to credit both teams. This was not the style of game we thought. We thought this was going to be a shootout, big scores. While there were still some exciting offensive plays, you really got to credit the defense. It's really stepping up for both teams. And, unfortunately for Mount Healthy, their season ends, but Walpock lives again to next week, and as you mentioned, gets to see a familiar face.
Right, and for the Mount Healthy Fighting Owls, they have suffered 4 losses this year. All of them have been close ball games. That this is actually the largest margin of defeat that they had this year. No, I'm sorry, they had an 8-point loss. But, obviously they've been in every game.
Yeah, a very quality team, and they represented their school very well.
So a tough loss for the Fighting Owls tonight, but the Redskins will advance. And Paul, Trotwood Madison, we're going to see some familiar faces there when we go to our next stop, which the site is to be determined yet.
Yes, and I know that our statistician A.J. Lisi is really hoping that we can get it to Sydney, but they actually played this game 2011. This is be the 3rd time in the last 5 years that these teams have matched up in the playoffs. In 2011, they met in Piqua, where Trotwood Madison, led by a slew of Division I athletes, pulled off a 27-6 victory. Last year, in an absolute classic and a heartbreaker, the Redskins had a 14-7 lead, gets to 14-14 right at the end of regulation, and then it goes 4 overtimes where Trotwood is able to pull it out 34-28. And the Trotwood Madison Rams have been the bully of the block in Region 10 for a long time, and the Redskins are going to try to set some school history to see if they can knock them off.
All right. And we will have that ball game for you on Game Face Ohio. We will check your local listings to see when that will air. You'll have to keep track, and we'll try and post that out on our social media as well. I want to thank the folks here at Northmont for hosting us tonight, and thank our crew. Our producer tonight was Adam Dell. Our replay technician was Cody Voorhees. On cameras, Jim Miller, John Peak, and Chad Crane. And they did a fantastic job here tonight. The Redskins advance to play one more week at least as they knock off Mount Healthy tonight by a final score of 12-7. Our statistician, A.J. Lisi, looking forward to a trip to Sydney. For Paul Sadler, I'm Dan Hearn. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week.